Alrighty.
Yeah.
Two Aussies and a Yank walk into a bar. Welcome, episode 13, Autonomous Zone. I'm Straussy.
G'day, lucky number 13.
Yeah.
Steve-O from Brisbane, Australia. Hey, Gaz!
I'm Gaz.
Woo, ka-ching.
Trying to be as Australian
Cheers,
as
guys.
possible.
Welcome to the bar.
Thanks for walking into the bar.
Here we are, rebarring the dam again.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been
Thanks
here
for
a while.
joining us, everyone. How's it going? G'day, Scotty.
G'day.
G'day. Got our first comment. That was quick.
Yeah.
Time was late.
Autonomous zone.
Yeah.
Yes, we're getting straight into it. Autonomous Zone. This week, big news is Chaz.
Yeah? Chaz Michaels, the
Chaz.
skater? Oh, sorry, shouldn't be laughing about it. Is it sensitive?
You know,
That's what we're here for, though.
I'd love to be a little bit of Chaz Michaels. What was his nemesis name? I don't remember.
John. It's not as good as Chaz
James
Michaels.
Earl
Is it Chaz or is it Chop?
Well, it starts as Chaz. Here we go. Here's our little Chaz on the thingo, on the pavement. Like, They got the Chaz set up.
They do.
We're in
so,
Chaz
so
now.
pleasant and inviting.
And then today, it got the chop. There it is. There's the chop.
You know who they need to meet? Uncle Chop Chop.
Oh, Uncle Chop. Yes.
He should be the mayor. He should
Yeah.
be the president.
Those Americans who don't know.
Yeah.
Uncle
I don't
Chopper.
know Uncle Chop Chop.
Uncle Chop Chop.
Yeah.
You've seen a few of his videos.
Chopper Reed.
I
yeah.
have seen him. Yeah. Chop Chop.
But I mean, the choppers are very welcoming. We've got a little picture here of the sign getting into Chop.
There's such
There we go.
handiwork with
Welcome
the
to Chop.
what's
you
it
know,
say?
like it's also
the
arty.
artists. Yeah.
It doesn't. It seems like it was a bit more militant than that, but you know,
It's
all the
certainly
art, they got
similar.
artists in
Yeah.
there. They got all kinds of people. Steve-O, they got some gardeners. You
That tickled my fancy, actually.
you sent us some pictures of the gardens
I
that they're
did stumble
growing in
upon some
Chop.
gardens at the Chaz now Chop.
Yeah, Chaz Chop.
I guess they needed to be the awareness factor of
Here's
being
a
able
little bit of their handiwork.
supply. They've got to grow their own crops and grow their own food now.
Yeah, Stewie could take a few lessons down from the choppers.
I'd go with Stewie though. I bet he.
He's got a green
He's
thumb.
got a green thumb. Yeah.
But I'm not exactly sure who they consulted on the landscaping and the gardening aspect. What they actually did was they lay down cardboard boxes and then just loaded grass,
Yeah.
cardboard boxes, topsoil,
Yeah.
plants.
Right.
Now that's a little backwards as far as green thumbs go and gardening goes.
Well, I think I know what the cardboard's about because there's a chance they're going to change location.
So it's convenient.
Today they're going to move it a bit, so
Oh, yeah.
they might need to slide it over to the
Right,
next
right.
neighbourhood. A couple of
No,
blocks down, you know?
plants.
That's a good one. Look at
Plants,
that. Look at that
plants
deadly
sending
plant.
roots down is not.
Well, and didn't they wonder why they
Necessity.
didn't have the vegetable or fruit?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit backwards, but I don't know who they consulted for that project itself. So, dig a
Well-
hole, put your plant in, maybe put the cardboard on, second to last to help squash the weeds and so on.
Yeah, I can say. I mean, I don't know if they're going to survive too long on that, but I mean, because there's a lot of businesses are moving out of the district. They're saying we're out. We
Is
don't
that
want to
true?
be a part of it. Yeah. But there's one business that's shown interest on moving in, and that is Bob's Chop House. And here, Bob's Chop House is talking about moving in because they could make a killing in there. I mean, especially with that gardening green thumb we just saw from the most
Now
of the
that's-
inhabitants.
that's a
of
place
Chop.
I'd wanna go.
There's a nice chop for you.
Is that a carrot too? Is that from Chaz
Yeah,
Gardening?
That could be from the Chaz. I mean, Bob's might have to source from the Chaz Garden because they might, they might not be able to get any produce in,
It'll take about 90 days though.
Some serious screening, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would it make it to the table though? Because I mean, I think by the time that the supplies come from the restaurant, the citizens of Chaz might lift it for themselves.
I don't think
They'd be
they're-
hungry by then, wouldn't they?
Well, it's to serve them, though. I mean, they're the inhabitants.
Sure. So they'd patiently wait while they whip up their
I bet they
steaks.
would.
Yeah.
They look like a patient.
I don't think they're going to get any vegetation out of it.
That's a pretty inviting setting there at the restaurant, though.
I'd like to go
Yeah.
there.
I'm glad we're here.
Making
you
In
hungry?
the setting,
I know.
yeah, a little bit hungry.
How about that T-bone?
Yeah. 12 ounce ribeye.
Chop.
They'd
Chop,
probably,
chop,
they'd
chop.
probably be like vegetarians or vegans.
Well, it'd be tofu burgers or steaks.
I don't know that for a fact.
You know.
I'm not too
Is that on the Bob's Chop House menu?
I didn't check it out.
Meatless
particularly.
steak.
Gaz and I have eaten at Bob's Chop House.
Yeah, we
in
have.
Nashville,
Yeah.
With the
It's-
Sound Image Christmas
And
party.
I didn't see anything vegan on that
No,
menu.
no, I think they're in for a good dose of meat.
In fact,
I think Chop
more
is
ways than one.
I think Chop is in for a meat injection.
in fact, I think they did ask for soy milk and tofu to be delivered.
See, someone
did?
agrees.
Yeah.
They're all vegan. Yeah.
Yeah. Chop suey. That's right, Steve-O.
Awesome. Well, aside from Chaz, we've had downtown Nashville. There's been a few bars that got cited this week. We've got Honky Tonk Central. I think we've got a picture of this Honky Tonk Central on the website.
Hey,
Social distancing there.
Yeah,
look
I've
at
got
that.
friends that work there too.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did they have their
Well-
mask on?
No.
There you go.
We won't name any names then.
Well, we know a few of the people involved down there, but what do you think? I mean, there's a picture of the rally downtown, and what the defence of the bars is that if all these people can not socially distance like that,
Why aren't they getting
why the hell can't the bars?
And that's a solid argument
Yeah.
too, just quietly.
It is, but well, I mean, I think just the authorities are a bit scared to arrest the whole rally.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well,
I got an idea. What I think they all should do is just go into the bar and have a drink.
and support
like
local
this.
business.
And support local business.
Like this.
Like this.
All right.
You know?
Cheers.
There was a
Right?
pretty,
It's like
pretty
that'd be cool.
heavy police presence downtown. That was Saturday, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see some footage of some of the guys that were working down there, and those riot squads were protecting the sidewalks of downtown Nashville.
Yeah.
So they couldn't even probably get into a bar if they wanted to.
Probably not.
The majority of it did seem peaceful, but I could see the bar owners. I mean, they've been hit by the pandemic. They've been shut down for a couple of months.
Yeah, they're not making their zillions.
Yeah, only like mini zillions,
Mini zillions.
mini millions.
Yeah, half a zillion, half a zillion. But the thing that affects our friends more is the fact that they can't all play down there.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And
That's
they're
true.
only letting 2 people on stage at a time, which is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
I
saw
mean,
some-
we've got 3 on stage right now. No one's stopping us.
But I saw somewhere too that they were saying only 2 people on stage, but prior to them allowing live entertainment, they were seating tables such as this on the stage so that they could socially distance people. But what they weren't realizing, there was 4 people to a table. So there were 2 tables. There was 8 people technically on stage, but they were eating customers. So what's that loophole? Only 2 performers, but you can jam.
Well, I guess you've got to push the limits to find out where the boundaries are.
I think it's a bunch of
You gotta-
crap.
I mean, if you're trying to make money, you've got to bend it so it works to your favour
Like Beckham.
somehow.
Yeah. Bend it like that.
Bend it like Beckham.
It's the 1 week we don't have a Beckham photo.
Oh, I know. Well, here, I'll just, you know.
There you go. Like him, but different.
Well, the other thing that's happened this week that Gaz would be pretty up in arms about,
Yeah.
cartoons firearm censorship.
I mean, once you go to...
Elmer and Yosemite Sam, here we go.
Yeah.
No more guns.
You rascal, you wabbit. You know, it's kind of funny because, I mean, how long has that cartoon been around? 60
I was
years?
going to say that's tapping into like our childhood. And that goes
Yeah,
back a
and
few years.
before, slightly
like,
before that.
like way in. That's like 60 years ago for you.
Yeah.
Rusty, right? You were like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, 50s.
You know, and not one time did he ever shoot the rabbit.
Well, here's the thing. People are allowed to shoot rabbits.
Right.
They're
And
good
it's a
eating.
thing that happens.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
is the effect of somebody shooting
Or
a
the
rabbit,
offence,
you
for
know?
that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's offending people?
Exactly, and that's kind of what's making it all a bit weird because
Do you know the backstory on
It's
that? Was
not
it
really-
Warner Brothers made that call, or was that people
That I
were so
don't know.
offended, or how did that? Do we know how that?
I
And,
don't quite know
Right.
what the bottom line was to that one. But do you know about the Paw Patrol?
I do know a little bit about
That's your
Paw
story.
Paw Patrol.
You brought this one to the
But-
table.
But the thing about whether it be Elmer Fudd or Yosemite Sam
Yeah.
or Paw Patrol is that once something gets onto social media, it seems to gain traction. Mm-hmm. So we don't know for the most part whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
There we go. Nickelodeon and Police Brutality, and that's what's his name? Chase the German Shepherd. He's depicted as a police officer. So this did get traction on social media.
This story, this show, Paw Patrol, I've never heard of this one. Is this in your era,
I've
or
never
is
seen
this
a complete episode. Cadence, she never really got hooked completely on it. But there are about four separate characters. There's like a fire guy, there's a police guy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, poor old Chase, he's getting the brunt of it.
The dog's so cute.
But what is the whole thing? And because this is like a hoax, right? It's not actually cancelled. Is that what the next?
Yeah.
It did gain traction. I can't read that, but I'm sure it's really good.
Here, but, but it says blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's
blah, blah.
it's
Bark, bark, bark.
But they did state. I don't think it was Nickelodeon. Did say
That's from the Muppets, right?
Yeah. Bark, bark, bark.
There we go.
Cool.
Contrary to popular belief, blah blah blah. You can read that. That last bit's interesting though. The Nickelodeon won't be posting anything till June 7th to give access to different communities to get their voices heard, which is a really polite way of saying.
We're coming
well,
back.
it's just
We're going to shut down for a minute.
just let people say their piece, regardless of which side they're on.
Yeah.
But it was a hoax. It's not true.
But this is for real. Right?
Now this is purely in jest, but someone took the time to make this meme. Can we get that a little bit larger for a second? Paw Patrol replaces Chase the cop with Carl.
The Antifa
Antifa.
rioter.
Yeah. If you want some, I like that.
Is this a Russian show or is that?
That's
So is Antifa Russians?
I think that's just about revolution.
Wow.
More than anything. Yeah.
well,
'Cause
they're very.
It depicts to be Russian.
Well, here's the thing, though. What they're doing is very Marxism. Karl Marx, Marxism, if anybody knows.
Someone actually took
Stuff like
the time to put that brick launcher attached to the Carl's uniform there.
Oh,
and
man.
again, that's just in jest. That's not taking the piss out of.
Well, amongst all the other things that are getting the chop, so is Cops.
Yeah.
Cops TV show.
Cops is
That was like a
is
Saturday
advised.
night, Friday night.
There we go.
A couple little highlights. I mean, this is some classic crap.
Yeah. I wish I'd
What's
written that
this old
song.
bloke here in the
I wish a lot more people were, catching this because we won't see it ever again.
I mean, do we know what the reasoning was? Is they just go, people have had enough of Cops, really? I mean, I'd had enough of it
No,
after
actually,
less than a year. But
The creator of the show, I saw a thing with him, and I think he came out, when all this started, he came out and said, we're not going anywhere. And then like 3 or 4 days later, I think they're on A&E,
Right.
took them off the air. But I did see another interview which said, we will be back.
Right.
So they'll probably get another channel
Yeah.
or something,
And I mean, just touching back onto the Elmer Fudd and the Paw Patrol, the Elmer and the Yosemite and the Warner Brothers stuff seems legitimate, but if you think that that's offensive with the guns and no one's actually getting shot, they kind of take the piss out of Elmer because he's a clumsy and this and that.
yeah.
But they're allowing kids to play Grand Theft Auto and murder and
Yeah.
hijack cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, where does it stop?
I mean, if you think about it, it's really was never probably a subject that should be up for kids anyway.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah.
it was a bit of fun,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was there for a bit of fun. A bit like
And fictional, yeah.
Faulty Towers, which
Right.
is copping a flack as well.
Yep.
And I mean,
What's
I've got to
Faulty
say,
Towers?
so Faulty Towers is possibly the funniest show ever.
Oh, faulty. I thought
Faulty.
you said 40 towers.
40 Towers.
No, just
Oh,
one.
man,
Just
Australian.
one.
Just one?
Yeah, just one tower. And So Faulty Towers has been the major's copping crap
Yeah,
about saying
Now,
about the Germans.
Was this Cleese after the Monty Python? Was this his breakout stuff? Was this after Monty Python? Right?
I mean, it was probably, I can't know exactly, but it was at
The
around
timeline.
the same time as Monty Python was huge, and maybe just slightly after.
Right.
It was definitely
like
before
the
the
late
Life of
80s?
Brian. Though.
Sure.
No, it was early 70s.
Well, Cleese was getting traction. I mean, he was just a funny, goofy guy.
Yeah.
And that was him in that show.
Well, he wrote that with Connie Booth, who played Polly.
Right.
But the point he made that I read about what he said, what he had to say about it, is that all the racist or offensive things that were said in it were made to look the characters who said it, make them look stupid.
Yeah.
And it's humor,
Yeah,
it's sarcasm, you know,
I agree.
and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Is that you can't even pull the piss out of
Yeah.
people who are
And to make
ignorant,
fun of
you
the
know?
people that are, think that prejudice and discrimination is okay, and that's what John Cleese aimed to do. And it wasn't the complete series. It was one episode about Germans, apparently.
Well, he definitely ripped the Germans a new one, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that's what,
And again, it was
especially
about
in the 70s.
it was about piss
that's what you
taking.
did,
Yeah.
It was about making fun of people that shouldn't, be acting that way in the first place.
Yeah, and half the time, the insults are mixed in with compliments as
Right,
well.
right,
They were
right,
like,
right.
it's like, the major will go, Germans hate Germans, love German women, good card players.
Right.
That was his lines, you know. It's just like,
And if it was set in today, they go, love their Jägermeister. That's what Steve would say.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
You do love the
what
Jägermeister.
what happened? I think the episode was 1975. The last thing that I read was that John Cleese was so offended by what BBC did that he tweeted a few choice words, and the last one was calling the people at BBC marketing people and petty bureaucrats. End quote. So he had his say, and also the last thing that I read is that once they re-evaluate all their policies. There's a chance that episode itself will get reinstated, but
Yeah,
It rocked the boat, that's
as
for
it
sure.
should,
Yeah.
you know.
but I mean, it was part of. It's just like football. It was part of. My dad watched that show. We sat down and had a good laugh, but it was because John Cleese was funny and he took the piss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what all he was doing. But, I mean, look at, if you want to get down to that, look at Monty Python pulling the piss out of religion. Full stop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all
Yeah.
they do is
Yeah.
like pull the rag out of religion, you know.
Yeah.
So
He's a very naughty boy.
Come
he's not he's not the Messiah. He's a very
Hey, Anne, can you find Gary and add him? Anne Harrison, find Gary on Facebook and add him.
Yeah.
That'd be swell.
Yeah. What great conversation.
We should get Anne. I don't know who she is, but we should get Anne to be our correspondent.
she's a friend of
Yeah.
mine. Yeah, we can put her in charge of
Yeah.
Trump in Australia.
Political
Yeah.
Like a street
correspondence,
team.
yeah.
Street
Yeah.
team.
Except for you get a mix of ScoMo and Trumpy in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good feedback.
A little bit of
Can we look into that?
Juggling?
yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Ben, put that in the show notes. Thanks, mate. Righto.
Right
Cool.
up.
Well, we're going to finish off the current affairs with Steve. You've got a little story.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot happening in the world right now between Seattle, Minneapolis, even down to the Indigenous people in Australia. So my point is that we can look and follow the media to where they want us to look, but I think at times, whether it be with friends, family, I think we need to find still the good in people and the good in situations. And this story is about an officer from South
And
Carolina.
a gentleman.
An officer and a gentleman. Richard Gere and
Love
a
that
gerbil.
movie.
This is it's a story about Deputy William Kimbrough, and it's the 1 year anniversary. What happened 12 months ago was that he was investigating a speeding situation and pulled the car over. They didn't know why they were speeding, so he pulled them over, and once he discovered that there was an infant that was 12 days old that was not breathing, he administered CPR and kept the baby alive. That was 12 months ago. The baby's name was Riley, Do we have any of those pics there, Ben? Riley was she was 12 days old.
Wow.
She's now 1 year old, and as a sign, she just had her first birthday, and as a sign of adoration for Deputy Kimbrough saving Riley's life, Riley's mum asked Deputy Kimbrough to be the godfather for Riley, which is
that's
fantastic.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riley's mum says Deputy Kimbrough will be a part of her heart forever. So that's just a little bit of feel-good story. That's Deputy Kimbrough there too.
Mm-hmm.
So people doing good things.
Well,
It's not necessarily cop related, but it was something that caught my eye today. And a year ago that child's life could have ended.
yeah.
Kimbrough didn't know why he pulled down that street. He said he could have gone down 2 or 3 others and just happened to see the speeding vehicle and save the kid's life. So well done to Deputy Kimbrough. Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
Good job.
Cheers. I'll drink to that. Always look for the good if you get the chance.
So before we slip into our next segment, we're just going to put the question of the week out there this week. And it's a 2-part question.
Oh, boy.
We're going to throw it out to you guys to comment, and then at the end of the show, the guys will get to pick from the multiple choices that I have pre-selected.
Righto.
Question of the week 1 is, if you were setting up an autonomous zone, where would be the best location? And the second part of the question is, if you were setting up an autonomous zone, where would be the worst location?
Ooh, something to think about.
So
Right.
think about where you'd want to be.
Can I ask what's the word? Someone that's not completely informed. How did it eventuate in the first place? I know there was a lot of upset with the state of the nation. How did Seattle get taken over by these people and possess
Gary?
Well, I
possess
think-
6 blocks of downtown?
I think it depends on who you ask and what they believe.
Because it went from the riots to the Seattle situation.
Really, because you could ask the same question to somebody who believes differently than you. Or
Right,
you
and that's
or
just me being naive because I did not research it, and I don't know if anyone knows
We
about
could
it.
ask Ann Harrison.
Maybe.
And can you
Maybe
comment
if
and
someone
tell
wants
us
to shed
how
some light on
if
it,
you know how it started, but
Because I'd like to be a little bit more aware. Depends on who you ask, apparently.
Are you asking me?
Well, I don't know.
we
I'm
are.
just,
I think we are asking that.
I'm just curious because
Well, I think
whether or not it be factual or your opinion or
Well,
conspiracy theory, I'll eat it up.
yeah, I know you like the conspiracies, but I'm not going off of conspiracies, but you
Right.
got to look at where these things are happening and look at who is in control of their local governments.
Right.
And go from there, take it as
That
it
I
may
understand
be.
too. It doesn't, depending on the political parties, but
And then you need to look at, they really don't know. They have ideas of who's doing this, but they
Right.
really don't.
But let's say
Fact.
we wanted to do it in Nashville and there was an attempt at it. Do I go, let's set up our own independent country in Nashville, bring your gun, or do we recruit more people and set a time, kind of like riding, or
Probably.
not that I'm-
You would probably have to. I would imagine that would be a good start.
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, this had to happen.
But-
It was something coordinated in Seattle.
Well, that's part of your question is, why was it Seattle, Gaz?
Well, they actually have a history like that dates back like 40 or 50 years of things like this happening, which a lot of people probably don't know because people have seemed to throw history out the window with everything,
Right.
regardless of what side you are on politically. So that's a big area that people know that they can do that,
Right. So has that got a history of like governments
Of this happening.
being overthrown, or
Of people
Taking
just
control?
taking control.
Wow.
So I think a lot of the areas that we're seeing that kind of have that same thing. And again, it goes to what's being, who's running it.
Right.
It would have probably happened here very quickly,
yeah?
and could have, but
Because it comes down to who's in control, and apparently they've appointed some like rapper guy to be like the guy in charge or something like that. But you know, how do they survive without the outside world? They're trying to grow plants.
Well, and that's the thing.
What about the people that live in those 6 blocks? I mean, do they get a say in it? Is that part of the problem as well?
Well, they
And the businesses, for that matter?
well the businesses. I heard that the people were going to them and saying, "You give us money, or else we're gonna
Oh wow!
loot and pillage." You know.
It's like protection. But
Yeah,
you've got to pay.
exactly.
It's like the
Yeah,
attempt
it's
at
like that
taxing.
movie. Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of like how the mob did.
Right.
You know, where they would control a section of the
Right.
city. You know.
So you're saying it's quite a legit setup.
But I mean, sorry to go a little off center there, but
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
you know, without. I mean, do they have a WikiLeaks? what do you call it?
Wikipedia. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I would challenge.
How do you get informed? And it's like, what's their movement about?
I haven't really
Being
read into
independent.
their beliefs at this point, but like it's something I'm going to do just to
Right.
inform myself. But I would challenge people to look at, don't take sides politically, you know, but look at the history of where things go and where things come,
Right.
and because you learn a lot from the past,
Sure.
of where to go and where not to go.
So is it a case of maybe that everyone or a group of people just going, had enough? Don't want to be part of the USA anymore.
It could be that, or it could be people that just want to loot and pillage and burn and do whatever they want.
Right.
You know, I
Lawlessness.
mean, there's both sides to that. You know, I'm sure there's a handful of both in that group.
Right.
You know,
While we consider that, there is someone we know who does know kind of what this is all about and what's happening, and he's put together a little video for us. And
This
I think
guy-
we should
is this
throw-
Rodney?
Should throw to Rodney.
oh Rodney,
Rodney's a bit of a.
Rodney knows what this is all about.
He's just for the setup. Rodney is like a modern day prophet, really.
so he's going to clarify all this. For
Yeah, and for people, it'll help me out too. So
us. Good.
So let's see if
Here's Rodney.
Come on, Rodney, bring it.
So, so the most important thing you gotta remember is, you know, okay, so some people were, you know, they were doing some stuff, and then other people were like, hey, don't do that stuff, and then other people were like, hey, yeah, they should do, you know, that stuff. It's good that they're doing that stuff, and then the other people were like, I don't think they should be doing that stuff, and then the thing, you know, the one, they're doing, so things are like, what I'm trying to say is that, in conclusion,
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea.
Oh my God, that guy.
I think Rodney summed all of us up there.
He's got to be related to old Joe, by the way. Just a cousin.
You think so?
That
I love
might,
how he goes, there's some people doing some stuff, and he goes,
that might be old Joe's long lost brother.
Maybe.
You know. I think he summed it up of what a lot of people were thinking right now. I have no idea what's
and
going
that's,
on.
and that's the way most conversations about what's happening feel.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
should we talk about it? Do we not talk about it? What's happening? And
I do have a question
You know,
about Rodney's video. Where was he standing? Because it sounded like he was near like a highway or something.
Yeah, he was under a highway.
he was out gardening.
So
He was looking for shrooms.
he's part of the rebellion. Oh, I think he found the shrooms for sure.
Oh,
my
he
goodness.
bewildered those.
Oh,
Well,
we got to bring Rodney.
so they
back.
might. But we do, I mean, we probably can, we're looking to top that with...
Is this our next segment?
We've got a new segment we're giving a crack tonight with
Yeah.
our mate at the bar
Yeah.
here at Rebar, and we're going to do some deep thoughts with Coitus.
Wait, Coitus?
Your friend,
Coitus.
your
Your
Curtis,
mate
right?
Coitus.
Curtis, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we said
Coitus.
We got-
Coitus.
Coitus. Curtis.
There we go.
Right.
Are you there, Curtis?
There he is. He's here.
Well, y'all remember when terrorists used to be like scary people, chop someone's head off? With President Trump designating Antifa a terrorist organization. Our terrorists are now very feminine men and very masculine women. And as this new generation rewrites history, I can only be sure of two things. Won't be written in cursive, and it'll contain pronouns I will not know how to use. Back to y'all.
Thanks, Coy.
Deep thought. Coy?
Oh,
Coy.
Curtis.
Curtis.
Curtis. Yeah.
I thought it was coitus.
It's all in the
I
pronunciation.
hope he's got more deep thoughts though.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He goes deep.
That bar looked pretty empty. That's obviously not downtown Nashville.
There's social distancing.
That's here. It's our bar here at Rebar.
It is our bar.
Can't wait to hit that bar on the way.
What, six,
Put our masks on.
6 feet apart.
And speaking of going deep,
How deep?
we're going deep to the Panama report with Stu
Oh,
Wars.
Stewie.
Stewie.
Come on.
Hey, yeah.
You there, Stewie?
Gentlemen, what's happening?
Here he is.
Hello.
Hey, mate. Love the shirt.
Afternoon.
Hey, mate.
It's my uniform, I told you.
I love it. I love it.
Is that a tax write-off?
Yep.
If your hair was little bit
Well, I hope
greyer,
so.
you could be the skipper from Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
My Hardies, that's why I got the hat on, because the HMS Popeye is out. I don't have a photo of it for you, but look at this lady. Oh my God, gold. Me and Tassie out for a morning rowing at about 6:30. Bloody
You were
beautiful,
rowing?
mate.
Has he got a Popeye butt?
Rowing.
Oh,
I
Popeye
told you, little Popeye.
Oh, we'll have to get a picture of
Beautiful
that
little
next
thing.
week.
Oh, mate, I'll send you one in.
So, and they call you Poppy, don't they, the locals?
Big pop.
They do call me Poppy down here, so which is
Poppy.
even funnier.
Poppy Popeye. Poppy's Popeye.
The grand Poppy sometimes, because
Big
the
grand
size.
puppy.
And,
Oh,
and
right.
people will be asked, have
Just
you
a
seen
little bit.
Stewie's big Poppy's Popeye?
Puppy bunkers. Stewie, how's it going down in Panama, mate?
Mate, it is rocking, absolutely rocking down here at the moment, as you can see. The sun. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There's never a dull moment. Although I was set up outside before and I had to come in because I was being buggified. So sometimes when that moon's in a different place, sometimes it's a bit buggier here. You get a couple of nights a week, but other than that, she's
Well, they're
fine,
probably
mate. She's
attracted to your full moon. Or half moon.
Well,
whatever
I
you
smoke them
drop.
out, Straussy. I have this burning thing that I use to try and smoke them out. So it works sometimes, but you've got to keep it going for so long. But I had to stop for this.
So,
Which is always.
what about the lockdown? Are you locked down still this week?
Well, we were, and we weren't, and we are again, and it's just the same as everywhere. There is and there isn't. There's been a few more cases local. So we're back to sort of restrictions of travelling, girls on one day, boys on the other, with the last number of your passport or ID is what time you go. So I think that's still in place at the moment, and then total lockdown of the weekend. But it doesn't change much out where we are. So it's sort of still does what they do out here.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone I'm in good trouble.
I've seen a little bit of that firsthand. But
Overserved. But
I was
no,
overserved
all's
there
good.
one time.
So before we get into the photos, Stu, just curious if you do happen to get into trouble there, do you have water police or someone come knocking on your door?
Well, there's sort of three different sort of police here, or army, or coast guard, whichever way you want to call them. You have in town, you have your sort of local police that sort of drive around and, mind you if you're doing something wrong, or, if you're a bit drunk or something wandering down the street. Then you have the army sort of level police. They sort of go around and they mainly have sort of AKG machine guns on their lap, on the back of a motorbike sort of thing, hooning round, and really don't want to mess with. And then out here, all of those guys have all got boats sort of thing, and then there's a sort of like not a secret service, but it's like a different department of the police that sort of look after more of, making sure everyone's doing right, you know, break-ins, you know, that sort of thing. They look
Sounds
after
like you've
that.
met
So
them all.
I know them all very, very well.
Yeah.
And then they have the Coast Guard people that are here. Apparently, there's some thing that they smuggle here. I don't know. I've never heard what it is, but apparently they're here for that. So
Spider monkeys. Yeah.
What colour is it?
White spider monkeys.
shrimp, I think. Shrimp is what it is.
Shrimp.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But no, so yes, so that's
Yeah, I was
that's
just-
about as it. So if something happened now and I rang someone, it'd take me 5 hours to get through to whichever department, and then they'd probably go, "Oh, we don't really want to drive out there at the moment. We'll see you tomorrow if we can be bothered getting out there a bit." So
Let's see if it's an
You know-
emergency tomorrow, something like that.
yeah, but here you're sort of you're guilty until proven innocent. So you sort of, if something happens ever, you go into jail and then you prove your innocence to get out.
Oh, so they do know you already.
Apparently. Exactly. That's why I have to wear these different hats to disguise myself.
Just
Yeah, I would never pick it was you.
so just,
I just tippy-toe through the life, Straussy, you know that. I'm very hard to...
Tippy toes away.
tippy toe. Righto, what, do we have photos this week?
Yeah, so this is part 3 in Stuart's
Oh, yeah.
sequel
Part
of photo album secrets
Yeah.
from Panama.
Yeah.
You know, spreading the good news. Here we go. Huey, tell us
This
what
is
we
at
got
the
here.
local bar. We did a Christmas party here for the young kids, and
At the
actually
bar.
about
At the
cartoons.
bar.
Well, yeah, it's you know, it's got a roof on it, so it's good so they don't get burnt, you know. And we actually put a movie on for them. Look at this little kid here. He's my favourite. I want to make a painting. Look at him there.
That's awesome.
But we were actually showing cartoons to the kids, and you got to understand, a lot of these kids have never ever seen before.
Elmer
So we
Fudd.
played some Tom and Jerry because he used to always have the cartoon before the film.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids were scared of that cartoon because of the violence in it, with him chasing him and hitting him with a pot and smacking him with things and all that. They thought, oh, no. You know, that's terrible. And even a 67-year-old man here had never seen a cartoon in his life that I showed some Tom and Jerry to out on the front porch here one night. He was the same. He was going, oh, that's terrible. So in saying what you're saying, that we grew up with it and all that, for some kids that have never seen anything like that, it's actually a little bit violent. If you look at it, it sort of is, but we're used to it, so you don't notice it, if you know what I mean. It's a weird
that's the
thing.
power
So
of conditioning,
yeah, well,
though.
So
Yeah.
there could be some truth in
with
all
your-
this.
Your cartoons, I know. You've
I
always
wonder-
got to come to Panama.
I wonder
Yeah,
how
so-
many of those kids got in trouble that week for like hitting their brothers with pots and pans. And stuff.
or their cat.
Or
Well,
their
that's
cat, yeah.
how do you know? You know,
Exactly.
that could have happened. And it's just some locals here that had been
That
to
would
the
make-
party. The party was great. It was a
And that would
fun
make
day
you
for
the
them.
instigator.
Yeah, there we go. Who showed you that? They go, the big white thunder. Don't go near him
there's
again.
Mama
Whack, whack,
Stars.
whack. Here's Mr. Smacky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mama sniffing some flowers there. So
Oh.
that was a lovely day.
Is that in
And
the
this,
bar
this
as
is sort
well?
of more of the bar area. This is where Strauss couldn't walk here. But must admit, the floor's not the squarest floor in the world, so
It was a little
it
riggedy.
doesn't take many beers to do all that. It's a sort of bar where you sort of go there and the bottles put on there. Oh, this is me actually breaking into the bar because it wasn't open and we ran booze. So I got a broom and I made a little noose on the end of it and shoved it through the wall and noosed the bottle and dragged it over. So we videoed it all and sent it to the pub owner and said, well, this is what happens when you're not open. So
Oh, wow.
you get
So
broken
he-
into by us.
Did he learn his lesson? That's the question.
No, he laughed his guts out and thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Did put the alcohol further away though.
So he did learn his lesson.
You just got to get a longer stick.
I did. I just got a bigger piece of cane. And this is in PA. As you can see, I went over to help fix, and it's a bit hard when where you put your horn there, boys.
Oh,
there's
wow.
a chicken laying eggs in there. So after we sort of got the chickens out and rewiring and soldering, they came up all right, the little speakers. So
Yeah.
the recones haven't. Well, we ended up not even reconing them. We're getting a couple of new ones. They haven't turned up yet. We'll bang them in, and it's good. Like you can see the little disco thing behind it. That's what they use now. So where we are, about a mile across the bay, you just hear a bit of the accordion and bottom end in all the music, and it's the same fucking bass line. Oh, I swore. I'm not allowed to swear, am I? It's the same one of those bass lines in everything, and so it gets a bit annoying. So now, when this is fired up, we'll have the full again and be able to hear everything a lot better.
So you bring in your expertise to Panama.
It's not that much of that, but yes, I can remember the black wire and the red wire, and that's about it.
How did they resist when you wanted to take the chickens out of the speaker boxes, or no?
Well, the
They
chooks
okay
just
with
got
that?
thrown out the back into the pen, but they were really good, and I think I might have even had the chicken for dinner that night. I don't even know.
Side of fries.
Yeah.
Side of fry, it was side of somethings. Plantains, there you go. But yeah, so it's fun and games. It's good to be able to help out with a few of the people here, and the kids. They do a lot too. The local bar, they do a lot of baseball here with them, and people donate. We've got some good friends over Little Island over here that donating a bunch of gear for them when they come down. So it's good. There's a lot of people that try and help out a bit here.
That's
so
great,
I
mate.
like
Between
that.
fixing PAs and building loos, mate, you're
Yeah.
changing the world over in Panama.
They just call me Jack, mate. Just Jack.
Jack of all
Bloody
trades.
all trade. Nah, it's not a hard thing to do. When you've got people around and are appreciative. It's the small town syndrome. Mrs. Jessup knows everything that's going on. Sorry, Gazza, you won't understand that,
No.
or anyone else playing in America. But the good thing is that they're all sort of willing to do their bit, whether it be in their village, or their village. It'll all help the whole village in the end. I look like I'm a dan. What do I do with my hands? Sorry.
Put them on the wheel, Ricky Bobby.
Oh, it gets your point across.
Sorry. But it's all good. It's all good. But yes, that's life in Panama at the moment, boys and girls. I think
Fantastic.
we've got episode 4 next week, and I'm just looking behind you. It looks a little bit like the top end of Tasmania there, Panama, doesn't it?
It does look like
Yeah.
a
And
top
you can't
of
see
tea.
the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Well,
So,
we're going to leave
But
you.
it's-
See if Mama can give you a few media lessons to figure out what to do with your hands. And
exactly. And and next week I'll give you a few ideas of how to plant gardens a lot better.
There you go.
Okay.
Start by digging a hole, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
yeah, put some
Way
cardboard
easier to dig
down.
out. Just dig. It's real simple. 6 foot in diameter, 3 foot deep. Mound that up around the edge. 3 coconut trees, and just plant whatever you want in between them. Throw all your middle. It'll last forever.
Yeah.
Done.
Throw on a hammock.
No
Legacy.
cardboard
It's
go.
called a legacy.
There it is.
Stewie, thanks for bringing the shirt and the report, mate.
Yep.
Love you,
See you
boys.
soon.
Love you,
Be
buddy.
safe.
Mate.
And no riding.
We'll see you soon. See you soon.
Right.
I love that shirt.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good.
So
it's a
it's
good.
it's
I mean, that's
tropical.
probably the best shirt in Panama, right there.
Oh yeah.
I think, but we'll see.
We'll see you next week.
See what we can come up with.
That's an expensive shirt, pal.
So we've got the Steve. You uncovered this conspiracy.
Did I?
Yes, you did. The last week you sent this one out to us. The zebra penis guy went viral last week, and turns out it was a fake.
It was a
news,
hoax.
Fake news.
I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest.
Here he is, and whatever his name is, I can't remember what his face, but
Mate. Yeah.
yeah,
Old mate.
got caught with a bag of dicks, and and what was it? How many zebra penises was it? 300.
Abundance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
over 300. It's
Plenty.
like, even if it
Plenty.
were, you would have to question your own sanity to think that was a true story for someone to actually have. I think it was more than one bag, one piece of luggage.
Well, it was.
As far as the
One
story.
day. No pun intended.
Well, Uncle Trumpy saw right through this fake news story, got straight on the blower. Next thing we know, false.
Yeah,
It was
so
debunked.
Trumpy
False.
wanted to squash it.
Yeah, it turns out found out it was dodgy, and the real tricky ending to this is that the dude is a groper.
In real life,
If we can
right?
blow that one up, please, Ben, because we can't quite read it. But
Yeah.
But what that's about is he was a student in Florida, in Miami.
Oh, wow.
And
That's not good.
No, he wasn't a dick bagger after all. He was playing for the other team.
But I mean, the story when I first read it had some clout because if he would sell someone with that identity going back to China with bags of penises, it's like what's the motivation there? And the reality is that that culture believes that anything penis orientated is an aphrodisiac. So if you've got 300 penises, and there's apparently like, as far as the story goes, baboon penises, giraffe penises.
I never knew that.
Yeah, there was other penises in there, but
Variety
the
of
way it was
Elephant.
debunked, the way it was debunked is that they don't smuggle the whole thing; they powder it. It's powdered penis when they bring it.
Powdered penis.
Yeah, they don't keep it whole, so that was why they knew it was. They found out it was a fake story.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
normally it'd be bags of powdered penis.
So it's not, yeah. 'cause
Still a
like,
bag of dicks.
So what do you like sprinkle that in your tea or?
I don't, but you might. I don't know.
I mean,
what caught my attention was that some of the comic believing that it was a real story and commenting on it. It was just hilarious.
Yeah, because it was actually a comedy site.
Yeah.
It was posted on
Right. See?
Yeah.
Got to get your facts.
But yeah, there was part that wanted me to believe it because we could have taken the absolute piss out of it.
It's
But,
probably a good thing we did.
yeah, I mean, we could have listed all the.
Probably
You know,
a
no
good
one wants
thing
to
we
see
left
that.
it alone.
Yeah, leave it alone. Leave it well alone.
Keep it at arm's
Gary's
length.
impressed.
At arm's length.
I just didn't know it was an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
You know?
I just wanted to be on the show and say big bag of dicks.
Mission accomplished.
Sorry, Mum.
On the back of that, let's get another deep thought from Coitus.
Yeah, is he ready to
Coitus.
go?
Yeah.
Deep thoughts.
so.
Deep thoughts
Here he is.
from Coitus.
I really hope he doesn't say anything.
Back to you.
I might have stole his thunder on that one.
You know, there's something about that.
Yeah.
You know.
There is, yeah.
There's something about Coitus.
Oh my
That was one of the deepest thoughts with coitus.
Oh, I have a feeling there'll be more.
Yeah.
That was.
None may run as deep as that one. But that was good. That
That
got
was a
me.
banger right there.
Oh
Just,
man.
it's actually cool not knowing what's coming.
Yeah.
You know? Because
Curtis, man, he's got a pretty stout beard. He looks like he probably could do some push-ups too. You ever gone to work out with Curtis?
He has, yeah. We've worked out together.
He looks like a stout machine.
I wouldn't want to be
Speaking-
on his wrong side.
Speaking of stout machines, I've still been doing my 25 push-ups
Oh yeah.
and
You have?
and documenting them just
Yeah.
for, you know, I feel an obligation from the guy that nominated me. No offense, Straussy, but I was nominated by Corey, so you know the accountability is to and froing. But speaking of the segment that we started last week,
yeah.
Yeah.
right, was we had old Joe and it just. You came up with what I thought was a brilliant idea once I reflected upon it, instead of doing the push-ups and creating awareness, which can spread through social media. Your concept was to reach out to call a friend.
Let's call him
25
out.
friends. Yeah. Let's do
So
it.
that's what the next segment is. It's Call a Mate. Who we got on the line? So Strauss.
We got our old mate, Jason Jones.
Jonesy.
Jason Jones coming
There
in
he
hot.
is, coming in hot from Alabama.
Oh, man. Is that Jesus?
Country music, Jesus.
That's Alabama Jesus
Alabama
right there.
Jesus.
Greenville, Alabama.
Yeah.
Hey mate, how you going?
That old Panama Jack you had, he's a riot.
I know, right?
You know it. Well, you've been around him before too.
Country down there. It's a face I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And probably hoping
Going
to
on,
not see
fella?
for a while, but still. You
So
know.
this is week 2.
Yep.
Let's call mate.
Yeah, Straussy, you wanted to reach out to Jason just to make. I know he's got guitar in hand.
Yeah, we wanted
But-
to see how you're doing, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's everything going for you? Do you want to tell him that you're checking on his mental?
Well, this is kind of a mental health call, but But
I almost spit that.
we're just like checking in to see if you're all right, because that's what mates do.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
last
what
week we
mates
checked
should
old
do.
Joe, and you know,
Yeah.
making sure everyone's coping with lots
Yeah.
of other things happening.
Yeah.
Y'all are not social distancing.
Well, we've all been tested via Gary and someone in Panama.
Yeah, we're clean.
Yeah, we had our temperature checked as we walked in the door.
Of the COVID, at least.
My test was
We're
from
good,
Taiwan.
man.
I know it's good.
Haven't done any work in a while, but we're good down here in Alabama.
Yeah.
Glad y'all called.
Have
Yeah,
you,
mate.
have you been had any stress, or are you kind of taking it easy, or how's it going? You know, what's the
Haven't really been doing a whole lot other than raising kids. They've been out of school since literally March. So we've had 3 kids at home since March, all day, every day.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of the lifestyle and the livelihood of a lot of people that either aren't working or. So yeah, you're kind of feeding into the mindset of a lot of people that might be tuning into that have got children.
looks like you've been
Yeah.
cultivating some hair as well.
Well, you can't get haircuts.
Miracle Grow. Miracle Grow. There's none up here. It's all down here.
Oh yeah, and here in this bit.
That's a pretty stout facial hair going, considering
yeah.
that once upon a time you would think that you couldn't grow facial hair, mate. It's a good commitment.
Do what?
I was going to say that's good facial hair commitment, considering once upon a time you thought you couldn't grow a man beard.
I wish I could get.
I'm sure whatever he said was about my beard and was really good. He just dropped out there, mate. My beard's stellar,
Yeah,
though,
it's-
right?
It's dropping out some. Yeah, your beard is incredible. I love it. I want to touch it. Well, I miss you guys, man. Is everything
we
good
miss
in
you.
Nashville?
So far, so good, yeah.
I mean, Gareth and I are pretty much locked down on the lake, and that's not the worst place to be.
It's a hard life.
Mm-hmm.
You know it. You've been there.
Steve's doing family chores like you.
Family chores, family
Yeah.
projects, home improvements. Feel like Tim Allen. Yeah.
Yeah. Gaz helped me renovate a boat.
Yeah.
We fixed up a little boat
Yep.
and did that while we were waiting for.
Yeah.
What did you
Things that
get?
happen.
What kind of boat did you get?
It's a Washita.
A what?
Made in Japan.
Washita.
Oh, wow.
It's from Missouri.
God bless you.
Made in Missouri.
Yeah, it was made in
Okay.
1976,
Yeah.
and you can tell.
Oh man, it looks good. It looks good.
No, but it's a little 15-foot skiff, and just we had to rebuild the boat, put a new bottom in it, and Toto's got some footage of it actually on its first mission, which didn't complete under its own power. He had to help us like tow her into the slip on the first
Go ahead,
day.
Nick.
Yeah. Toto to the rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got a little video he wants to play one week, which we've got to set that up soon. And we'll do a couple of pictures. And
That, the Virgin Run, right? So the
Yeah.
maiden voyage.
I have a feeling you're putting this off.
what, the video thing?
Yeah.
Well, I just remembered. I've kind of forgotten.
I just remembered.
Wow, I thought we'd wait till we get a video of it actually running. Outside of it.
Can it
But-
be before Saturday?
But you. Oh no. You've been out on it. You've had it running.
Yeah,
It's
she's
running
going
good.
now. We took a little minute to get a few things fixed. She's been sitting for a while. Hasn't been registered since 2013, so
Yeah.
had a few little goats to get out of the system. But
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
running like a top now.
50
Stuff,
horse
good
Johnson.
stuff.
Yeah, 50
Yeah.
horse.
So, for those that might be tuning in or have tuned in tonight, Jonesy's going to be our musical guest too. But Jonesy, before you play a song for us tonight, can you touch on a little bit about that gig that was potentially going ahead this past weekend for you, and if it did happen, and how was it in relation to all the city's guidelines and so on?
Yeah, I mean it was good. It went ahead. So my wife actually got tested for COVID the day before the show, so we were kind of on pins and needles about whether or not I was actually going to be able to play. You know, but she ended up testing negative. But there are a lot of cases in Tuscaloosa right now. A ton. The place that she went and got tested, they said they're turning 150 positives a day or more
Ooh, that's an uptick.
in town. I mean, this is a small town, you know, so I think a lot of people are on the edge. We don't really know what football season is going to be like, or, you know, that's a main driver for the economy here locally. The bars are, you know, they're pretty busy. I don't know. I wouldn't say that they're packed just because a lot of the college students are still not here.
Did they
But
have to put a cap on the people inside?
You know, I really don't know. I don't know the regulations. I know that they say they're supposed to, maintain distancing and stuff like that. But
Did it look
sometimes
like
that
Kid
happens.
Rock downtown? Did you see that
Yeah, I
picture
don't
of the
think-
citation? Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
it was
wasn't that
nothing like.
extreme. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting because we would play and then head straight outside after it was over, and not mess around with anybody or talk to
Sanitize.
anybody.
Sanitize.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Got a misting sanitizer shower out there by the trailer.
Did you get as hardcore as like alcohol wipes on the microphones and don't sing into my microphone, Todd, etc.?
Yeah. We just took our own mics and just sang in our own mics, so we didn't do any sharing. But
Right.
it was a little odd, like that's the first time I've played a show since March. So
And I think,
Was it full band or was it just you?
yeah.
Oh,
full band.
wow.
So we had all the guys, and it was, pretty rusty. It's it's weird getting back and doing. I mean, literally haven't played a show, or all I've done is written songs. So that's a whole different ball game. Hoping everything works when you turn it on when you get there and all.
yeah. How did the voice hold up? Was it pretty strong from the rest, or you just felt like you could sing for 6 hours instead of 4?
I felt like it was worse from the rest. Kind of use it or lose it type thing. I feel like it's a muscle, when you don't
substance,
use
or what do you call it? Endurance.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, 3 or 4 songs through, I felt like I was toast already, and but I think that's to be expected. I mean, when you're not singing every day, so yeah. So it was very odd, man. It was a whole different thing than I'm used to doing.
Yeah. I
You're
think
like
that's the
looking at
shape of
people
the.
going, I know this.
Sorry, Matt. I was just going to say that I think it's the shape of the industry. It's going to be touch and go, feeling it out. What's happening in the bars,
Yeah.
as though environment.
It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it'll be interesting to see when we can go back to work.
yeah.
For real.
Just one last thing too, mate, for the people. You've got a painting job on the side with some really great creative pieces too. So, do you have an Instagram that you can plug on that for people that might be interested in some ideas for loved ones, or
Yeah.
you might be the Van Gogh of the future. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like him.
Van Jesus. I told my wife, I said it wouldn't be the worst thing if I came out of here as a painter, instead of a musician. I mean, who knows? But the Instagram is Jason Jones Official, and you just go in there and follow me. I do custom pieces, and I've actually got a couple that I'm working on right now. So it's just that's really been a blessing, being able to do that while I wasn't able to play music. So that was something
Yeah.
that kind of came out.
Well,
of
Yeah.
left field.
and it's funny with what you just said is a lot of people who normally do things like play music or this or that are developing other talents and things that they probably never would have if this had happened, hadn't
Because it's-
happened.
Yeah, I think people are finding out more about themselves, that
Yeah.
they didn't know. It's,
Yeah.
Literally, if I wasn't able to paint, and I painted a picture out of boredom and it sold, and then after that, I mean, most of the pieces that I painted after that sold or were commissions, and it was very steady and allowed me to make an income, and
That's
that was something that I did not plan on happening. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to paint and sell some pictures. I mean, that totally came out of nowhere. It's been a lot of fun, actually. So
He's probably pretty would be modest about it too, but he painted Joe Diffie and he painted
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers, and they're just absolute bangers, mate. So
Yeah.
good, well done.
Do you have any there within close range we can see, or no?
probably not too close. I'd have to run inside. I could grab one, but it would take about 10 seconds or so for me to get it. So.
No worries. We'd see that if people go to your Jason Jones.
Yeah,
official
check out
Instagram
the Instagram. I do have some available, and do custom pieces. I'm working on a piece that's 8 feet long by 4 feet tall right now.
Oh, wow.
Can you give away the creative concept for it? Because I know you said it's going to take you about a month. What was that before you fire up into a song?
Yeah, it's this friend of ours wants she's going to go in her dining room. It's going to kind of be the focal point of the home when you walk into it, and it's kind of an abstract floral piece. So it's very interesting, taking flowers and putting them in like a clear plastic bin and taking the petals off, and then I'm photographing them with different, just as they move in the different water, because the water abstracts the flower petals and abstracts the picture, and then add some food color into it for some background color. And so it's been a really interesting process. I actually have a guy that's a mentor, and he and I are kind of working through it together, and learning, because the biggest part of the work is the leading up to it, I think. And then the easiest part is actually painting it. Once you really decide what you're going to do, then you just paint it. That's the easy part. So, but other than that, it's been writing songs, man. So
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, let us have one.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sing us a song, Jonesy, and make it that
Come
good one.
on.
thank you, Sean.
Grab us a
Well-
drink and tune in and listen.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Jonesy.
Man, thank y'all for having me. I miss you guys for real.
Yeah, miss you too, buddy.
Yeah, mate. And thanks for coming
We were
in.
doing. What's that?
I was just going to say thanks for coming in last minute too, because
Yeah.
we had a cancellation and you were happy to step in for us and
Yeah, thanks for
fill
that.
a spot. So thanks, mate. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
If you ever call me again, I'll have all the gear you need me to have.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Love you, mate. Sing us a song.
All right, here we go. I wrote this one by myself, and we had a good time playing it on the road with Dwight Yoakam and got a good response from it. So it's called Riding the Fence. I got a half a tank of gas and a half a case of beer. I drank the other half of that before I was even halfway out here. And I got a half a heart to tell her half of the whole truth. And only half of me's in love with her, and the other half stuck on you. Riding the fence, riding the line. That's how it's been my whole life. I've got me convinced that everything is fine when I'm riding the fence, riding the line. I got a half a mind to stay and a half a mind to go. Half the time I'm half inclined to pull the pin and watch it all blow. 'Cause half of me's crazy, but half of me ain't. Half of me can do half the things that the other half of me can't. When I'm riding the fence, riding the line. It's how it's been my whole life. I've got me convinced that everything is fine when I'm riding the fence, riding the line. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. There's no way to live without no doubt. It's like I was born with a part of me broken, never been able to quite straighten out. I think the best pieces of me are the ones I've left behind when I'm riding the fence, riding the line, riding the fence, riding the line. Fire.
It's a good one, mate. Like it.
Well done, mate.
Very cool. Well, like we said, thanks again for stepping in at the last minute and singing a song for us, having a chat, mate. We'll,
And yeah, glad to hear your mental health's in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
if you ever
It
need
ebbs and flows like that. Yeah.
Steve wanted you to do push-ups, but we wanted to call you.
I can't do push-ups. I can't do
push.
Oh, we made the
We
right
know.
call then.
Yeah.
we know.
Jonesy, thanks, mate.
Love you,
Thanks,
buddy.
mate. We'll see you
Cheers.
soon.
You guys,
All the best.
y'all have fun. Have
Talk to you soon. Cheers, mate. Righto.
Well, we got any comments? We need to, no one's really had a stab at question of the week.
Now, should you
Not
read it
yet.
again
Yeah.
before we give the answers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what people
If
say.
you were setting up an autonomous zone, where would be the best location? And if you're setting up an autonomous zone, where would be the worst location?
Right. Anyone got any ideas? Besides Mick wanting to see Gary do a cannonball?
Yes, very good. I think that looks like Nick Nolte was referring to Stu.
No, that was
No, that was Rodney.
That was Rodney.
Oh, was Rodney?
That was Rodney.
Yeah.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah. And I
In
was,
reference to Rodney. doing the-
and
yeah.
Ann was wondering where Poppy's eyes were. I was
Yes.
kind of wondering myself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs some toothpicks sometimes.
And some
to
clear
keep his
eyes.
open. Yes. But they don't sell it in Palma.
Oh no, we
Clear
should
eyes
send
and
them some.
little
So just on the tail end of Jonesy singing a song, I was confirming with Straussy that he had actual answers for us because I was not wanting to come up with my own answers for this question of the week.
Okay. Well, let's hit it then. If you were setting up an autonomous zone, where would be the best location? A, Disneyland. B, Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Or C, Lynchburg, Tennessee.
For the Jack Daniels distillery. Distillery,
Distillery.
right?
You've been there
I've
already.
been hit the bottle on there in that last song.
Oh,
the distillery.
man.
Funnily enough, I was just at the place in Normandy. I was telling you guys it was close to the George Dickel distillery, and I still haven't been to Jack Daniels
Oh,
or
yeah.
George Dickel.
yeah.
But yeah, Lynchburg.
Ooh. We do have a comment, Steve. Bourbon Street, best and worst place,
Ah, that's a quite a good
That is
answer.
true,
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
Not a bad answer, that. Pretty good. Did we know Steve?
Yeah, Steve Colburn, out on the lake. Steve and Marcia,
Oh, cool.
Gotcha.
good friends of ours.
Good old Steve.
So would it be for the purpose of like Hershey because you get access to
The
all the
squirts.
chocolate? Not the Hershey Highway.
It is the Hershey Highway.
Well, there's
though.
a
there is a Hershey
There's
Highway.
a Hershey chocolate park.
So if you
Yeah.
were to be in Lynchburg, you get to take over Jack Daniels. You say that I'll have
Well, I
that.
mean, it's kind of the connotations. Do you want to?
Right.
I mean, hang
Ride
out,
the roller coasters at
Yeah. Do you
Disneyland?
want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to hang out in the fun park? Do you want to be in Chocolate Wonderland or
Chocolate
do you
World.
want to be in
Oh, man.
Beach
Willy
Street,
Wonka's
Tennessee?
Chocolate Factory.
Do they have ice cream in Hershey?
I'd say there's a fair chance.
Better than average, yeah.
I like ice cream. You know, put a little
Yeah.
Hershey sauce on. it,
Yeah, that'd be good.
You know.
I would go with maybe just from the alcohol perspective of taking over Jack Daniels. Yeah,
Okay,
not necessarily Lynchburg. Just
all right, that's good.
Jack
I
Daniels.
thought you might think for your daughter's sake.
Yeah.
But-
And for my own sake, from my daughter. Sorry, honey.
Man. I do
But
like.
you didn't say that. If you said the family, or would I call you, or would I call my kid to go take over Lynchburg? Because if I was taking my kid, I'd go to Disney World for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I
But
put
I
that in
wouldn't-
there
I
for
wouldn't-
you,
I
but
wouldn't-
you didn't think about your family.
Yeah,
first.
Yeah.
That's
So I'll
right.
take her to Hershey Highway.
I'd take
I'm going with Hershey.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hershey and Lynchburg.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I have to.
You have to do the split, yeah.
Or you could just go with Disney. Disney.
Yeah, that'd be a three-way tie. Then. No, I spew up on roller coasters, especially if
So-
I've been to Hershey
Oh yeah. you go
or
Lynchburg.
Lynchburg. I'd probably go to Lynchburg.
That's right.
See,
That's
now
right.
You're teaming up again.
It's closer too. It's closer too.
Yeah, it's just down the road.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Where would be the worst location if you're setting up an autonomous zone? A. Chernobyl. B. Branson, Missouri.
Oh. Been there.
You wouldn't be able to recruit anyone. That's the problem.
Oh man.
Oh, well, you
They
would.
do.
Oh, they'd probably say.
But they'd be carrying muskets.
They do have some good buffets, so
Loading their muskets.
they got good buffets.
Okay. Or C. The Betty Ford Clinic.
First one was.
First one was Chernobyl, Branson, Missouri, or the Betty Ford Clinic.
Oh,
Worst
it'd be
place
Betty
to
Ford.
set up an
Betty
autonomous
Ford.
zone.
Well, if you've gone, both of you picked Lynchburg, so I would say you guys should hit the Betty Ford
Yeah,
Clinic.
Betty Ford.
You know?
Well,
I mean, right?
I mean, don't you think the worst place would be Chernobyl?
I would think so.
But,
But-
yeah, but you know, I wouldn't. You wouldn't see me there.
I might have to go with Branson.
Would they really put up a fight though?
Branson?
Yeah,
No.
that's like Blue Hair Brigade, right?
Yeah. See, I gotta. Steve agrees with me. Branson, Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a few things I could say about it, but I don't want to offend people
Yeah.
that
Well, people, I mean, and quick word for people in Australia, Branson, Missouri is
misery.
Where artists go to
a
die.
place where
Yes.
it's kind of like where old artists go to die.
I gotta tell a
sort of,
story
but
about
it's
Branson.
pretty much. I've actually never been, but it's a whole street, right? The main street is full of theatres. The artists have set up, and they
Sure.
play there, and elderly people come there and go
By
to
the
all
busload.
show. Come there by the busloads.
But they go to the buffet before that.
Right. Yeah.
You know what buffet
Yeah,
stands
it's-
for, right?
it's-
I'm not gonna say.
It's kind of like Vegas, but
Dog
for,
Patch
for
USA.
over 65s.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderland for
Without the gambling.
pensioners. Right.
Lots of buffets.
I'm gonna go. What was it? What? Did we decide?
You said
Chernobyl,
didn't
Branson,
you?
or Betty Ford.
No, I said Betty Ford.
Oh, did you? Branson. What's your pick?
Chernobyl.
Best and worst, right there. Yep.
Well, there we go.
There's another episode. Episode lucky number 13.
It's a good number.
Yeah.
Seem
Good
to have
number.
survived it so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, we did. Hope it didn't offend anyone,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah.
It- you
Just
know,
for something different.
again, it's just one of those things. Trying to walk a fine line there.
Yep, we are. Well, once again, thanks for joining
That
us.
should be the disclaimer too. We should have a disclaimer. Hey. Have a disclaimer that says
Walk the
all
fine
these
line.
comments are in jest and you know
Well, they're not.
they're meant to be. You know, it's a variety entertainment hour, whatever you want.
I'm with John Cleese.
Yeah,
Get a sense of humour.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Or
I agree with
get
that.
over yourself.
Yeah,
Laughter does cure a lot of things.
It sure does.
yeah.
But thanks for joining us. We've got to thank Jaybird Studios, Ben and Toto.
Yep.
Logan.
In there. Logan, yep.
Yep.
And
Special guests.
Deep
Yes.
thoughts with coitus.
Curtis, thanks, mate. We've got Jonesy and Jack
Stewie.
Jones and Big Stu.
Stewie.
Big White Thunder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And next week we've got God knows what.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
It's
We'll
a
make it up as we go.
It's
Yeah.
a surprise.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see anything or get us to talk about any subject matters, just drop us a line.
Yeah, or message us.
Yeah.
Yep. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Two Aussies and a Yank walk into a bar, and here's looking up your roster.
Be kind to each other.
Yeah.
Cheers. It all
y'all.
starts. Cheers.
Righto, righto.
Righto. Woo. Hi, Mom.